The next defense witness.
Yes, Your Honor, but first the defense would like to respectfully request a time check.
The defense has 4 minutes and 38 seconds remaining, and the people have 5 minutes and 2 seconds.
Thank you.
Now the defense calls to the stand Casey Davidson.
Casey Davidson, please report to the stand. Please follow me. Please stand there. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly affirm that the testimony you're about to give will faithfully and truthfully conform to the facts and rules of the mock trial competition?
I do.
Please state your first and last name, spelling out your last name for the record.
Casey Davidson, Davidson.
Please be seated.
For scoring purposes, my name is Rena DiTullio.
Once again, Your Honor, my name is Jacob O'Toney, and for the convenience of the court, this witness's statement can be found starting on page 38.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davidson.
Good afternoon.
Can you please tell the court a little about yourself?
My name is Casey Davidson. I'm a resident of Acorn, and I have been for my entire life.
Are you a member of any political groups?
Yes, actually. I'm a member of the EFA.
What is the EFA?
Well, the EFA is a non-violent pro-immigration group that opposes the backwards thinking of nativists and nationalists in ways that promote peace. I believe everybody should be allowed into this great country.
Are you aware of the RADS political group?
Yes, they are also a pro-immigration group. However, they approach topics in a rather violent manner.
Are you a member of the RADS?
No, I am not a member of the RADS. They always ruin our peaceful protests with their violent ways. I think they give groups like the EFA a bad name.
And are you familiar with the late Alex Thompson?
Yes, we've attended several of the same political rallies over the past few years, including the O'Kennedy rally.
Did Mr. Thompson share your political views?
No, we had contradicting political views, but I enjoyed continually debating with him on the topic of totalitarian immigration.
Do you know what political group Mr. Thompson was a part of?
Mr. Thompson was a part of the OA, a conservative anti-immigration group.
And did you ever have any personal interactions with Mr. Thompson?
We've had a few arguments over the years, but they were nothing more than arguments. It wasn't really a secret that we disliked each other's views.
Did you like Mr. Thompson?
No, not particularly.
Why not?
Well, he has harassed myself and others on multiple occasions.
What kind of harassment have you witnessed?
Several months ago, when I was walking into the Acorn Tech Shop, I saw Thompson swing his fist at my friend, the owner, Avery Williams. Thankfully, I got there in time and mediated the situation to prevent any further violence.
You mentioned earlier that you yourself have been harassed. Can you please elaborate on this?
Sure. On September 10th, I was at a farmer's market where I saw Thompson. Thompson proceeded to trip me, and when I tried to get back up, he grabbed me.
Were you hurt?
Thankfully, no broken bones, but there were bruises and definitely scratches.
Did you ever post anything on social media about Mr. Thompson?
Well, today I've been accused of posting 2 posts. However, I only posted one of them, and that was after the September 10th incident where Thompson tripped me.
Why did you post this message?
I posted this message because I was just venting. It was really stupid of me to do it, and I forgot to delete it after I cooled off.
Do you know who posted the other message?
No, I don't know who posted the other message.
And did you mean for the message you posted to be interpreted as a threat?
No, definitely not. I was just venting. I didn't want anybody to take anything I said seriously.
I'd like to shift your attention to the O'Kennedy rally on September 14th. You mentioned earlier that you attended this rally. Did you see Mr. Thompson there?
Yes, I did.
And did you see him harass anyone there?
Yes, actually. At around 9:50 that morning, I saw Thompson cross the police line and start throwing eggs at people wearing Tantaran hoodies.
What, if anything, did you do after you saw him throwing eggs?
Well, I told him to stop that and asked him back to his side of the line. But he refused, grabbed my walking stick, and he tried to take it from me.
After Mr. Thompson tried to take your walking stick, what happened?
Someone I didn't recognize came up from behind Thompson and punched him in the nose really hard.
Did you see where Mr. Thompson's attacker went?
No, I never saw him again.
After Mr. Thompson was punched, what did you see?
His nose started gushing blood everywhere, all over my clothes and shoes. Thompson even had to hold on to my walking stick so he wouldn't fall over from the blow of the punch. And then just chaos erupted.
What do you mean by chaos?
Everybody, including myself, was getting pushed around quite a bit, and in the midst of all of that, I lost my walking stick.
What did you do next?
Well, in an effort to drown out O'Kennedy's speech, I wanted to start a chant with my bullhorn. Unfortunately, my batteries were dead, so I took the chance to go to the Acorn Tech Shop and buy new batteries.
At what time did you purchase these batteries?
I'd have to check my receipt, but I'd say around 10:10 in the morning, give or take a few minutes.
After purchasing the batteries, what did you do?
I made my way back to the park into the front of the crowd.
And finally, Mr. Davidson, Did you kill Alex Thompson?
I did not kill Alex Thompson. I was shocked when I heard the news about Mr. Thompson's death. Nobody deserves to die like that.
Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Cross-examination. You may go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davidson.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Now, on direct examination, you said that you witnessed Mr. Thompson try to punch your friend, Mr. Williams.
That's true.
That made you mad, right?
I thought it was uncalled for.
And on September 14th, you saw Mr. Thompson throwing eggs at people.
I did.
That made you mad, right?
I thought it was uncalled for.
Well, you even screamed at Mr. Thompson, "Get back on your side of the line, or you'll get what's coming to you."
I was just telling him to get back on his side of the line so he wouldn't get arrested by the police.
Mr. Davidson, you said, "Or you'll get what's coming to you."
The police were coming for him, ma'am.
Now, you also mentioned on direct examination that you'd have to check your receipt about the timing that you were at the tech shop, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you kept that receipt.
Yeah, I did.
Now, I want to turn your attention to the events of September 14th, 2017. You made a few comments to Mr. Thompson that day.
Could you define comments?
Well, you said there aren't enough police to stop us.
Objection, Your Honor. Unfair extrapolation. That comment wasn't made to Mr. Thompson.
Have to cite me to a part of the text that might answer the question.
Your Honor, this statement was made at, wait, where is this at? This statement was made on page 40 at lines 20 through 22. There aren't enough police to stop us. Let's get the Tantaran haters now. And this is at 10:20 a.m., at which time Mr. Thompson was dead. Therefore, Mr. Davidson could not have made this statement to him.
Any response?
Your Honor, perhaps I misspoke. This isn't specifically to Mr. Thompson. I was just asking if he made this statement on September 14th.
Go ahead and rephrase and try again.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Davidson, on September 14th, 2017, you said there aren't enough police to stop us.
Yes, I was trying to start a chant.
Well, you said, "Let's get these Tantaran haters now."
I was trying to gather my supporters.
And then a few days earlier, you made a post from your social media account to Mr. Thompson's page, right?
Yes, I did.
That said, "Someone should kill idiots like you."
Yes, like I stated in direct, I'm sorry. However, I was just venting and I forgot to delete it after I cooled off. I really regret that.
Well, on direct examination, you said that you didn't mean it as a threat, right?
That's right.
Right, but the statement is "someone should kill idiots like you."
I don't believe it's a threat.
Mr. Davidson, you said "someone should kill idiots like you."
I did.
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Sustained, yes.
Motion to strike.
Motion granted.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Davidson, on direct examination, you also said you're a non-violent person.
I am a very nonviolent person.
You don't resort to violence.
I try not to.
Right, but you've gotten into a few arguments with Mr. Thompson, right?
Which were provoked by him, I believe.
Well, they may have been provoked by Mr. Thompson, but you pushed Mr. Thompson during these arguments, right?
I don't believe so. Could you cite that?
Objection, Your Honor. Vague and ambiguous. The council's question, opposing counsel's question, did you push Mr. Thompson? I don't believe that is very specific as to what she means by push, like whether physically push or just provoke.
I think that's a fair question. Overruled.
You pushed Mr. Thompson?
I don't understand your question. Could you rephrase?
Mr. Davidson, you've gotten into arguments with Mr. Thompson in which you have physically responded. Yes or no?
I have physically responded in defense of myself. Yes.
So you did get physical with Mr. Thompson?
In defense of myself. Yes.
Now, you also mentioned that you witnessed Mr. Thompson get punched on September 14th, 2017.
Yes, ma'am, I did. It was quite a hard punch, too.
And you were wearing a sweatshirt over your shirt at that time?
Yeah.
And you were carrying your bullhorn?
Yeah, it was up on my shoulder.
Now, after that punch, you walked away?
Yes, I did.
And then you took off your sweatshirt?
Because it got warm.
Now, Mr. Davidson, I'd like to turn your attention to Exhibit C in front of you.
Got it. Yeah.
That's the shirt you were wearing on September 14th, 2017.
That is my shirt.
There's blood on that shirt?
In the bottom left-hand corner, yes, ma'am.
There's also blood on the right-hand corner, right?
Yes.
And that was the shirt you were wearing under your sweatshirt when Mr. Thompson got punched?
Yes, but my shirt was untucked, so that explains the blood on the bottom left-hand side of the shirt.
Well, Mr. Davidson, you never said that your shirt was peeking out from under your sweatshirt, right?
Yes, I did. It was untucked.
Mr. Davidson, you were wearing a sweatshirt on top of that shirt when Mr. Thompson was punched.
Yeah, it was.
Now, I want to turn your attention to Exhibit F.
1 second, count. There it is. Yeah, go ahead.
That's your walking stick?
It is my prized possession.
Nothing further.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Davidson, on the day of the rally, you were wearing a sweatshirt. Were you wearing a sweatshirt?
I was wearing a sweatshirt, yes.
And were you wearing a T-shirt underneath the sweatshirt?
Yes, I was.
And was this T-shirt, how was this T-shirt positioned relative to the sweatshirt?
It was untucked, so naturally it was out underneath the t-shirt a little bit.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Objection, unfair extrapolation.
Well, he could say it was untucked, so naturally would not necessarily follow. So I would agree with you probably on that, unless you want to be heard. Go ahead.
Your Honor, him saying that's untucked, considering the struggle over the walking stick that he had with Mr. Thompson, it's only reasonable that considering his hands are up, that the sweatshirt would go up and the shirt would be revealed underneath.
It's a reasonable argument to make, but it's not something that follows from the fact that it was untucked. In other words, in your final argument, you might make that point as a possibility, but it's not something that he can necessarily say that's the case because the shirt was untucked. Whereas, yes, whatever was untucked.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right?
Move to strike.
Yes, granted.
No further questions, Your Honor. May this witness please return to his seat?
Yes. Thank you, and you're excused.
Thank you.